When I was doing the gift, it was one of my favorite experiences. Sam Raimi is he's a genius. I mean, he invents shots. And I played a psychic whose husband had died and she was being haunted by this woman who had been killed. So it's kind of a murder mystery. I'd never been to a psychic. And so I went to the ones in LA and they'd obviously just read the trades. And then when I got to Savannah, where we shot it, I met this woman who was a quote-unquote real estate agent. She said, look, I don't do this anymore because it's too dangerous. She used to, when the FBI can't solve certain crimes, they would often get psychics in to help them find bodies. And so she's seen and discovered a lot of really unpalatable things. And so I said to her, look, would you give me a reading? I've never had one before, and your accent's amazing, and, I've got a memory like a sieve, so I'll record it. And the recording device wouldn't work around her, but of course, as soon as she left, the recording device worked. And she made all these predictions, which I only recorded because I was interested in the process. And then we were moving house about 5 or 6 years later. And so I listened to the recording, and everything she said happened.
What did she say?
She said I would have 4 children. I was like, are you crazy? And there would be 2 born in one place, 1 in another, and 1 would come to me in a really unusual way. So we have 3 biological kids, 1 adopted child, 2 born in England. I mean, it was all kind of crazy. And she said that I would play a writer who was ahead of her time, who had a foreign-sounding name like Guevin, short hair, and she was killed for what she was writing. And I found myself on set 3 years later, covered in blood, because I'd just been shot playing the Irish writer Veronica Guerin, who was killed for what she was writing about the drug lords in Ireland at the time. And she also said that I had 2 bodyguards. And I was like, are you bonkers? And because the case had been reopened, I was assigned a bodyguard because the guys who had got out of jail were visiting the set. Ireland is a very small country. And I was covered in blood, short hair, coming from the scene where I'd just been shot. And I turned behind me and there were 2 bodyguards following me. And it was just one of those moments where you go, hang on a minute. And then it was all came back to me. So it wasn't like I'd predicted it. I'd only done that stuff as research. So that was a very strange moment.
Her prediction came true.
It did. And so I had this urge. It's like, oh, my God, I've got to go back and find her. And then you think, do I want to know or do I not want to know? So obviously I didn't want to know.